here we are for another episode of Heaven on High and Chill. And yeah, we already got one of these this week, but I thought, you know, let's just do the next few floors. Whilst I'm in the mood to actually do them, why not, right? Let's just hop in here. If you hear bird noise or like car noise in the background, essentially I've got my windows open. It's about 32 degrees out there. I'm not really sure what temperature it is right now in the office. It's probably a bit too much, but I thought we'd continue anyway. What else am I going to do in a day, right? Other than make videos. This is what I do to have fun. So we're doing floors 31 to 40. I've been told by a lot of people that these floors are practically just a joke, honestly. Solo. So what can I do other than, you know, call their bluff and give it a go, basically. We've got quite a few commanders. Yeah, we're just going to play it safe and see if we can get to the boss. I believe the boss is called Bina. So let's see what we got. Commander of Steel. So let's use that up so we can get the one from the chest there. Always making sure that we're going on the outsides of the room this time. A few people in the last episode were really interested to hear about the internet increases. I know a lot of people don't necessarily watch this particular format. Some people prefer to watch the tea time videos, which is cool, and some people prefer this. But yeah, this is a lot more just free form, mostly because I can't vet everything I'm gonna say. I have to say it on the fly, so you get more honest opinions on things, basically. So you'll notice that in the latest tea time, I did talk about the idea of permissions on Discord. We're not going to go into that too much detail, but a lot of people ask me my opinion on the person involved in certain allegations. Let's turn the sound down. I completely forgot the background music was on. There we go. Now that's gone. Sorry about that if you were enjoying it, but it's too loud. I could turn it down, I suppose. Give me a minute. I might put it back on. But anyway, people ask me my opinions on things. Honestly, it's not really my place to have an opinion on things that have no basis of truth or falsehood at the moment. They are just purely allegations, and unless they're escalated further, you know, and are proven in court or something like that, it's not for me to say. But it is really poor timing in a situation in the last month or so. Pretty much every time you go on social media, me on Twitter recently, I've been trying to just not look at Twitter. There's just so many, you know, sexual allegations and things. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that they're coming out. In fact, it's a really, really good thing, because some people you think are like the best role models in the world, some streamers and things like that, and it turns out that they're massive pieces of shit. Then it's all the better that they get exposed for that, as long as those allegations can be proved, or if a person themselves admits to it. As regards to the Discord bot individual that we're not naming in this episode, none of that's necessarily been proven yet. Yes, there is a Tumblr post by somebody, but that individual as well, if you look at some of the past information or look for 5 minutes, you'll find that they're not necessarily the best source of information either. So really, it's just all hearsay. The best thing we can do is, like I said in the Tea Time episode, just limit the permissions that Discord bots have to your Discord. It's as simple as that. If you don't want things to be, you know, taken out of context or to be collated or information to be used against you in any way, shape or form, your best bet is to not allow for anybody to have unauthorized access to that information, especially when it comes to private chats, staff chats, stuff like that. Personal information should never really be shared on Discord, especially not in Discord channels, mostly because, you know, it's data that can be used against you. You could be doxxed by it, stuff like that. You don't post your address, you don't post telephone numbers, stuff like that. It should be very basic information, but for some reason people have forgotten the basic tenets of what makes the internet a dangerous place. I don't know why we're you know, backpedaling this way, but we are in a very unusual year. So not only is this a bad year for all of the situations such as, you know, the outbreak, the pandemic situation, people in like celebrities dying or whatever, financial situations, Brexit in England. No matter what it is, this year has been completely just, I don't know, the worst experience, I think, for everybody. But if the silver lining is from this recent scandal situation with the, people coming forward about abuse, if the silver lining is that we get less assholes on various platforms, then that's kind of a good thing. It is kind of painful to go through social media and see all of this stuff happening, though, to be fair. I think you can agree with that. But if it has to be done, it has to be done. I'd much rather have a group of content creators on YouTube and Twitch that we can look up to that aren't just massive creeps. Be that people who for some reason get sexually attracted to minors, or I've never understood that personally. But, each to their own, I guess. I'm just not that sort of guy, I don't know how you could, whatever. Let's not go down that route too much, Meoni. Let's not go down that sick route. But there's other situations as well, like pursuing women after they have said no to something. Why? If you did that in real life, you'd get a slap or a kick in the bollocks, or these days, actually, you would be much more likely to lose your job, aren't you? More than anything, which is obviously the better solution. Back when I was in school or something, it was a bit different, but if you did that stuff today, you've lost your job, and you're going to basically not even going to be able to apply and get a dustbinman job, like a bin man job, which used to be the running joke back in school. In Careers Advice Week, they were like, oh yeah, let's see what people are going to be in the future. What are you most suited to? And they said I was most suited to being a bin man, essentially. I was like, oh, right, cool, garbage trucks. Yeah, that's cool. That's the sort of advice they give to kids. They want to try and basically be as mean as possible. It was mostly because in school, I had a sense of humor that other people didn't have. We played around a bit, but I got my GCSEs. I ended up with 12 of them C and above. And I'm a bin man, yeah, let's become a bin man. What a great idea. What a scumbag, though, to say that. My mum really couldn't contain her anger at the time. But can you blame her? But, parents always protect their young, so to speak, isn't it? Where is this teleporter? Probably over here somewhere. It's not lit up anyway yet, so let's take care of these bloody birds. They keep casting things at me. Go away, bird. No one likes hornbills anyway. Be gone. But yeah, it's a current weird situation where you go on social media and then you find out that such and such has been banned, or they've stepped down from something. Like the current situations with Method, if you follow that group. I used to say guild, but they're an army pretty much, aren't they? An esports army when it comes to world first progressions in World of Warcraft and StarCraft and stuff like that. But that's buckling under the weight of some nefarious individuals. Yeah, and there are allegations that Method knew exactly what the person who was the center of those allegations was doing all along. That's even worse, isn't it? What's worse than being, a predator? Harboring a predator and defending them. I think that's probably a lot worse, especially if you're knowingly harboring them. That's the difference. If you don't know that they're a scumbag, that's not really anything you can blame anybody about them, like management teams, PR teams, anything like that. You wouldn't be able to blame the individual for the conduct of the of the person in question that the allegations are surrounding, unless they had something to do in it. And in some of these situations, it's been heavily implied and sometimes proven, in regards to Method anyway. So far, it appears to be that they knew all about the allegations and the truth of the matter. So yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive, isn't it? What a weird situation, though. We've got the sexual allegation stuff. We've got our favorite streamers and people like that basically being accused and found guilty of certain things, or completely not denying anything and disappearing off the face of the planet. Scumbags that, I mean, we've had to deal with a scumbag who has had the same situation in our community. We've had a predator that I've had to deal with, but we take a no tolerance approach. If someone is suspected of something, we investigate like anyone else in the world should, and if they're found to be sending predatory messages or anything, then they're gone. You know, it's as simple as that. So harboring somebody like that is more damaging to you and your brand, regardless of what you are, being a content creator individually like I am, or on a massive scale like an entire guild or a well-known, you know, esports team or teams like Method. You know, you have to take a stance, and the correct stance is no tolerance. You know, it needs to be dealt with the same as you would in real life. If somebody went up to you and grabbed your ass and it wasn't consensual, then obviously there would be a sexual assault allegation, and that's how it should be dealt with online as well. I'm not a social justice warrior in the slightest, but at the same time, I'm not the sort of person who's just going to stand by idly whilst people walk over my friends and people inside communities and stuff like that. Personally, I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with just, oh, it'll go away over time. I'm sorry if there was a bit of a disparity there. I had to mute Discord, mostly because I didn't realize I was in a public channel and someone joined and said something. So that's why there was a slight break in the footage. But, yes. So let's continue. It's just a really weird situation. A lot of people yesterday, when they found out about the allegations of you know, various people, and the truth was coming out for various other people in various communities, including Final Fantasy XIV, not just the WoW community. It affects everything, literally every community to do with gaming that I'm a part of, or I've been a viewer of, you know, a consumer of content like you guys with this video and other videos. It makes you feel less inclined to actually be a part of that group, that community, that especially when it comes to, like, for example, a community revolving around a game. The game itself loses a lot of reputation in some people's eyes. Unfairly, I agree, because it's not the game's fault for the people that actually play it, you know. But it still affects, ultimately, the community as a whole, not just any one particular individual. There's a silver chest in the other room. I might consider going towards that. I'm not sure. Let's see what's in here. I see a harakiri. But it definitely opened my eyes, because there's a few people on the various lists at the minute of people that have decided to do predatory acts that I didn't expect. I never expected them to throw away their careers. At the end of the day, you work really hard on YouTube or Twitch or whatever it is, especially on social media stuff, right? We put a lot of effort into what we do. I'm a fairly newcomer and a small bean in the grand scheme of things, right? I'm not a very big YouTuber, and I probably never will be, and that's fine by me. I've got this lovely small community of people that hopefully I can trust in, and, you know, they can respect me enough not to go down the same route that some of these other people are going at the moment and not be sick in the head. But you never know. But yeah, what I'm saying is we put a lot of work into building up a community. It's not easy to create a YouTube and Twitch career or whatever it is that you decide to do online, right? You're in the view of everyone every single day. If you're making videos or content released 5, maybe 6 days a week, you're in the public eye, right? You can't afford to mess any of that up. So why would you take the risk? It's just not worth it. Find yourself somebody consensually interested in you that reciprocates your affection and settle down with them. You know, do what you necessarily need to do, but do it within the confines of the law, and indeed that of policy agreements that you know, if you knowingly enter into an agreement or proceed down a path that you know will violate the terms of your workplace, then it's not free will at that point. It's more of a fact that you would not do that simply because you do not want to lose what you've worked so hard to create. In my opinion, anyway. I suppose it's easier said than done, but it would be akin to me hooking up with fans at FanFest. I will go there and I will take pictures with them and I will ask them if I can place my arm, around them before I actually do it, if they want a picture, because it looks more natural that way, or if they'd rather me have my arms at my side. I legit do that. I'm petrified of the idea that one of these people will say I've touched them inappropriately. But I still think that that's the correct way to proceed with things. Wow, that's 2 beacons that are fake. Screwing me, game, you're screwing me. But is that the wrong thing to do? No, I don't think it necessarily is. Does that make me some kind of noob? Some derogatory term? Oh, you're that hover hand geek that never commits to anything. It's like, no, it's not about being an alpha or a beta or anything like that. It's about having common respect for the opposite gender and an individual in general, right? It's not just an opposite gender. I apologize for that because obviously, depending on the situation, you might have very different sexual preferences than myself. I'm personally a straight individual, but I would still, regardless of who it is, I would still respect them enough to provide consent before I intimately, or not even intimately, if I touched them, I don't want to, oh, we got another magicite, lovely, another inferno. I don't want to be going down a route of touching someone and saying, oh yeah, and then patting them on the back. They probably don't want a pat on the back, Stuff like this used to be acceptable, right, when I was younger. But if I'm capable of learning that it's not appropriate to just presume things anymore, then I'm sure other people are as well. It's not that difficult. For a start, I mean, the only time I actually get to see other people is at FanFest and stuff. I really don't have interest in stuff that happens outside of my office, to be perfectly honest. For me personally, I just don't go out there and do that much. I'd like to see the world and visit places, don't get me wrong, but on a day-to-day basis, if I have to go to the supermarket, then I go to the supermarket and that's about it, right? I'm not going to dawdle around town and go, oh yeah, let's just sit on park benches and be insulted by random people. I'm not about that. I'd rather just do my own thing and have fun and create content for you guys. But somewhere down the line, these people either start this way and have these predatory inclinations, or they generate an ego to the point where they think that this stuff is acceptable simply because of how many subscribers or other numbers you could insert here as an example that they have on the internet. And it just doesn't stick against the wall in everyone's eyes that has a brain cell. It doesn't matter if you have 5 subscribers or 50 million. Not that anyone's got 50 million subscribers. That's, I don't think that's even possible. But you know what I mean? It doesn't matter the number. You still are held accountable for your actions. That's how I was brought up in real life. Not that I always obeyed them. Everyone's a rebel when they're younger. You have that rebellious stage. But as you start to mature, you start to realize, actually, no, doing that now would be a bad idea because it would get me in X amount of trouble with this person. Basically, tomfoolery is fine, but if you're going to get into a situation like sexual assault, just don't even go down that route. It's really not worth it. And sexual assault isn't just, touching people. It's verbal as well. It's communicative. As I've given you an example of, if there is a predator in a Discord community, then that's still held the same accountability as if you had gone and touched their ass or you'd harassed them in real life. But thankfully, when it's on the internet, as long as they don't know where you live and stuff like that, then you're able to, deal with them with various IP bans and other distancing techniques that you can employ, which is the advantage of dealing with people on the internet. But if it's a real life situation as well, then, and it comes down to a public figure basically being the most disgusting example of it. People that you look up to, people that you spend money on, that you donate to. If you found out that your favorite streamer or YouTuber was a sexual predator, or like, I don't know, even, I don't even want to say it, but like a predator for minors, you know, people under the age of consent, not only would you have lost that trust and potentially end up in jail, but you would have also you would feel so bad to know. I mean, I would feel bad personally if it was me to know that all of these people who had voluntarily given money towards projects, you know, that I'd let them down. That would have been, that's something that can never happen. And I will never be in that situation because I'm not a complete dumbass. You know, I'm not interested. I just really am not interested. I would much rather focus on the things that matter, like playing games and enjoying life to the fullest, meeting people at FanFests, going and having a pizza, chilling with people. I love that stuff. I love that sociability with like-minded people. That's the social side I enjoy. So why would you violate all of that trust? I don't know. It's hard for me to comprehend. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I've done plenty of things in the past myself, but I've never done anything that constitutes towards sexual harassment. No, certainly not. It's just not. I don't know. I mess around with my girlfriend, but we do that to each other consensually. It, you know, and often it leads to other things that are also consensual. You know, it's not in a situation where that's assault, but externally from that, there are some freaking weird people on the internet and in real life. This is why I distance myself from the majority of them. Oh yeah, we got a third magicite. Oh yeah, and we got that from a nice silver there. Lovely. We got a silver in here as well. Should we risk it for a biscuit? I think that's worth a risk it for a biscuit. As long as we don't pull it near the Kayafusa, we should be fine. And I know I'm rabbiting about things that not everybody's interested in, but I think some people do like to hear my opinions on things. So as much as this would probably be in a tea time or something, I feel that I can talk to you as if you're here whilst we're doing this, frankly. And I feel my opinions need to be made known on this. I think it's frankly disgusting every time I open Twitter to see, oh, who's the latest? What's the latest crap storm? You know, who's going to disappoint me today? Who's the next person to disappoint me? Or disappoint their entire community? I hate it. I've been trying to stay off social media as much as possible as a result of it, but it's part of what I do. It's part of what we can classify as a job, because I do this for a living. Thankfully, from the loving support of my community and you guys, the viewers. It's just, I don't know why anyone would violate that trust. It's sad. It's sad more than anything else. Obviously, there's a lot of disappointment, but I don't know. I just hope that the people involved in all of these scandals get their time, you know, get their day in court where they can adequately defend themselves if there is any way to defend them. I'm still a firm believer of, you know, innocent until proven guilty, really. As most people normally are in society, in the Western world. But at the same time, if something is irrefutable evidence given against it, or somebody doesn't deny it, usually that means that they are feeling guilty themselves. And that's not a good place to be in. For example, I used to watch a WoW streamer called Elvine. I don't know if you know anything to do with this. Elvine used to be a World of Warcraft. He played a little gnome with pink hair. And he got caught in a sting, like an operation, to basically weed out pedophiles. He was caught in a pedophile ring of basically a member of the FBI. Managed to get him to come on to a child and arranged a meetup. This person actually went out and proceeded with that. the FBI had surrounded the place, and Operation Interception, I think it was called, and they apprehended him. He went through the courts, had no defense, basically, because it was undefensible, and went straight to jail. And that's... it's a good thing, because holy crap, that dude pulled the wool over all of our eyes. I mean, he looked like such a genuine guy as well. That's the worst thing about it. It's never the people you necessarily expect all the time. I mean, this guy was huge. There was pictures of him with, like, Mike Morhaime, the former CEO of World of Warcraft and Blizzard. There's pictures of him next to Chris Metzen. There's pictures of him next to massive people within the Blizzard community. You know, and Twitch community as well. But it's very hard to know what a person is like. It's not something you see every day. A lot of people put on this persona and they pretend, you know, I don't know. It disgusted me, and it kind of destroyed me a little bit, because it was one of the sources of inspiration. My inspirations for creating content were mostly WoW streamers and WoW content creators. Elvine was one of them that got me interested in making money in games, because that's all he ever used to do on his Twitch streams and YouTube. Back when I was playing WoW and stuff like that. Oh my god, we pulled a lot here. Let's petrify these. I am not taking a risk. That's probably a waste, right? I could have used the thingy. Don't worry about it. Anyway. But it's never the people you expect. And it always is just the most disappointing, disgusting thing when it does happen. But yeah. Anyway, let's try and move the topic on, because it's depressing. But I needed to talk about it, because the current world situation is... Well, it's not fun, is it? It really isn't fun. Wow, this is a huge room. This is the last floor before the boss, by the way. And it's got gloom and, like, tons of Kayafusa. I guess we have to take them one at a time, really. Yeah, this guy's going to jump on me. It does a bit of damage, not too much, though. Let's follow that up. Once we got some buffs up. Oh, I pulled a doggo. Yeesh. Let's kill this doggo. Or dogu. Doggo. Looks nothing like a doggo. Be gone, dogu. There you go. You're not going to do shifting light on me. Screw you. You did drop me a chest, though. Is that silver? No, it's gold. Can't even see. So that's a strength. So we're going to use the strength, which will carry on to the next floor anyway. That's a good find. Let's find our way over here. We've got gold over here as well. It's orange key at the minute, so we can basically do a bit more looting. That's another strength. We really won't make use of that, sadly. That's that dude done. This heavenly Shishi lion. Be gone, lion. Stop lying around. Still sort of orangey key. I haven't actually seen a teleporter yet. Where could it be? Alright. Ah, there's one over in a corner. Commander of Safety. I mean, sure, why not? It gets rid of traps, so... I suppose we won't have a landmine if we accidentally pull multiple mobs together. Not that we're going to try and do that again. That was because I was getting frustrated about the topic we were talking about. Oh, it's there. It's in the middle. Okay. Let's pull this fella. Like that. Come on. Over here. We can charge into you now. Take care of you. This Dogu's next to me. He might drop a chest. Let's take care of him. For no particular reason, other than I would like to. Didn't drop one. I could have used Commander of Flights and things, but meh. Is it a real one? Yes, it is. Okay, so this is the boss. This is Bina. So as far as I remember from my very limited runs with other people, Bina has an ability called Ancient Aero 3. And I think this summons wind clouds on the opposite sides of the map. And then it does like a knockback, right? after a delay. So you have to be knocked back away from the clouds. I think that's about it. Can't remember much else, but we'll either get completely toasted or we'll defeat her easily. I don't know. We have got strength up, so that's good. So we've got tornado being cast here. That just, yeah, okay, it's not an actual tornado then, it's just a damaging tornado. There's ancient arrow. So that's summoning nothing? Oh, here we go. Ancient arrow 3. So we need to not be knocked back into those. Oh, so I can literally just be behind the boss. Ancient arrow 1 is a line. Okay. Easily avoidable. Like I say, I'm completely rusty. I can't remember half of this stuff. I'm just going off of notes in my brain, basically. Yes, I know. We've got 30 minutes to complete this floor on the last boss. However will we cope? Okay. Let's addle you. And then I guess if we just do that. Yeah, that works. And we can just stay at range anyway, right? Do some damage. We're half health nearly. There we go. On the half health point now. So we've got a tornado. Just normal damage, isn't it, that? So let's Vercure twice. Keep that up. Ancient Era 2. Move from that garbage. Ah, nice and leisurely then. What can possibly go wrong? Not a lot, I don't think. So yeah, this has been a really chill set of floors. I'm sorry that we had to talk about such disappointing topics, but people have been asking me, and I thought it would be best to share my own experiences and opinions with them. And hopefully you don't completely disagree with what I've said. But it is very disappointing, and I can assure you, I mean, not that that really matters much. People have said this before, but I can assure you that my interests are pretty much purely the video game and trying to succeed on YouTube and provide content to people and guides and news information and the stuff I enjoy doing. I love playing the game. I love playing games in general. I've dreamt of this all my life. For anybody to actually risk that as well. And the boss is dead, pretty much. There we go. And you're dead. For anybody to risk that. Oh, what a dumbass you must have to be. But yeah, I can assure you that I just want to keep making vids. And see how far the rabbit hole goes, right? Because it's been a crazy journey so far. I'd love to know what's just around the corner. Are we going to get to 100k subs? Is that going to be next year? I hope so. That'd be amazing. You know, the celebration for 100,000 subscribers, by the way, if we get to that. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have one hell of a live stream, and we're going to give away tons of stuff, and we're going to have a good old celebration of it. Because I don't really celebrate that much in a big way. I don't have birthday parties. I've never had a birthday party in real life. I know that might come across maybe weird to some of you, but if I could celebrate 100k subscribers with you next year, that would be incredibly happy to me. I don't know. It would have ticked a box for me that I didn't think possible. So that's the goal, right? But we've got lots of other goals. On July 16th, we get the upgraded internet. I got a thing through the mailbox today in real life, essentially confirming everything. I kind of want to frame the little letter that they sent me. I know that sounds weird, but it's a big deal for me. Every single milestone that we hit, regardless of if that's subscriber numbers, viewer numbers, getting internet, reaching goals, being able to save up for 2 years for a computer that I'm going to eventually hopefully get in August. You know, I've put so much into this project. And I continue to feed every bit of money that's from donations and stuff and Patreon back into it. Why would anybody throw that away? Blows my mind. Just for a bit of sexual harassment. You know, there's this amazing thing called the internet. And if you've got urges like that, there are ways you can deal with them. Okay? Just saying. Don't know if these people realize that, but, you know, the internet was designed for it, pretty much. So anyway, that's all I have to say today. Hopefully you enjoyed this really unusual conversation-driven video. Floors 31 to 40 were an absolute joke. People did tell me that it would be very relaxed for me. It really was. The boss was a complete joke, really. She had like one major ability, which is always fun. The floors going forward, though, floor 41 to 50, as next episode will be probably next week now, definitely next week actually, has a very interesting boss, Horodric Poison Tongue, basically, which is Gozu, and we have some enemies that can really, really screw our run up. But I'm really enjoying this. Hopefully you are as well, and I'm going to try and get to the top. If I can't, then you'll see me fail, and you know, that'll be that. But fingers crossed, and we've got to try and stay focused, even though the world is falling apart around us. Anyway, thank you kindly for watching and listening. I know this isn't everyone's cup of tea, but at least it was something different. And 5.3 is just around the corner, so I will be going back to the usual routine of making guides and minion videos and glamour videos and stuff like that. And lore videos will be back. As you can tell, my voice is actually better. I've been sort of retraining it a bit, sort of exercising it and relaxing it, drinking plenty of water. So we're good to go again. So I'll do the lore videos again for next week. And I'll see you all next time. Enjoy your weekend. It's an absolute scorcher. And have given out incredible weather, apart from the fact that there's thunderstorms on the horizon. So go and enjoy it as best you can. I plan to, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. Peace.